a day when thousands of people are gathered around the world to mark and commemorate the same event. We are gathered here to commemorate and stand with the Palestinian people in their struggle for liberation. And as people around the world mark Al-Quds Day today, we know that today is also another day of struggle. That today, this year, Al-Quds Day coincides with April 17th, Palestinian Prisoners' Day. And that today there are 4,800 Palestinian prisoners locked behind bars in Israeli occupation regime jails. These 4,800 Palestinian prisoners suffer from torture. They suffer from medical neglect. They suffer from solitary confinement, denial of family visits, disgusting conditions of confinement. Every single day, the Palestinian prisoners are victimized by systems that use imprisonment as a colonial weapon against the Palestinian people and their right to freedom, self-determination, and national liberation from the river to the sea. But these Palestinian prisoners are not only victims, although they are victimized daily. They are the leaders of the Palestinian resistance. They are the leaders of our international social justice movement. They are workers and farmers. They are students and teachers. They are strugglers. They are women and men. They are children and elders. They are freedom fighters who take up arms to struggle for freedom, and they are labor leaders who organize Palestinian workers and women and students in their community. These Palestinian prisoners are locked behind bars because they continue to fight back, because they are a true leadership of the Palestinian people that has not been sold out for some so-called peace process that is in reality nothing more than a project for imperialist control of Palestine and the entire region. It is for this reason that the Zionist regime wants to deny these leaders to their communities, to the Palestinian people, and to our entire movement. And so we say that the Palestinian prisoners are not alone, that we will not leave them to suffer inside the bars of the Zionist regime. No, we will stand with every one of those prisoners as they fight for freedom. And I want to highlight three particular prisoners today. Walid Daka, the Palestinian prisoner who is suffering from a rare cancer, who is also an intellectual, a writer, and a freedom fighter who has been fighting against medical neglect on a daily basis and is today fighting for his life against a Zionist regime that wants to practice his execution. And today I want to raise up the name of Karta Adnan, a Palestinian sheikh as well as a baker, a father of 9 who has been on hunger strike for 70 days this Al-Quds Day, who has not once broken his fast this Ramadan because he has won his freedom 4 times before by going on hunger strike. And I want to raise up George Abdallah, the Lebanese Arab struggler for Palestine, jailed in France for the past 39 years, as well as the 3 remaining prisoners of the Holy Land 5, serving 65-year sentences in U.S. prisons since we're outside the U.S. Consulate for their charitable humanitarian work for the Palestinian people. And so what we see is that the imprisonment of the Palestinian prisoners is not only an issue inside Palestine. No, it is an issue of the entire resistance, and it is an issue for all of us internationally. It is an issue that we must take up and fight for. And so we say today, free them all! Free them all! Free them all! Free them all! Today, to stand with the Palestinian prisoners is to stand with the Palestinian people, the Lebanese people, and all of the people of the world who fight back and resist Zionism, imperialism, and reaction. Today, when we stand with the Palestinian prisoners, we say we stand with the resistance, that these are our leaders, and we will not abandon them. They are not only the leaders of the Palestinian people, they are the leaders of our international social justice movement. And of course, as the theme of this event is anti-Palestinian racism, it is important to say that the repression of Palestinian voices does not stop at the boundaries of occupied Palestine from the river to the sea. This weekend in Berlin, Germany, the police banned all events commemorating Palestinian Prisoners' Day. And in the list of reasons why, well, they said, one, that they want to free terrorists, and another reason they said is because it coincides with Al-Quds Day, because the Palestinians organizing had mentioned Jerusalem in their social media posts. Today in France, Palestine solidarity organizations are fighting back against a ban imposed by the Macron government at the same time that it's beating workers in the streets fighting back against austerity. In the United States, they're passing anti-boycott laws that aim to criminalize the growing movement to isolate the Zionist regime. And here in Canada, once again, we see everything from students in Halifax going to high school being told not to wear a keffiyeh, to denunciations of the boycott of Israel from the highest political levels in this country. And so what do we know about this repression? We know that it represents the alliance of Zionism and imperialism against the Palestinian people, against the Lebanese people, against the people of the region, and frankly, against humanity. Samidoun, our organization, was declared a so-called terrorist organization by the Zionist regime in February of 2021 for one reason: because we stand with the Palestinian prisoners, and they want the Palestinian prisoners to be isolated inside their jails. And we know that all of our organizations, all of our movements are part of a global uprising, a global intifada, a global movement that stands with the prisoners, that stands with the resistance for the liberation of Palestine from the river to the sea. But we also know that these same Zionist organizations are issuing calls for Samidoun to be listed as a terrorist entity here in Canada. Now we know this is nonsense. It has no chance of succeeding here. But what we do have to say is that it's time to get the Palestinian resistance organizations off the so-called terror list of Canada. It's time to get the Lebanese resistance off the so-called list of terror here in Canada. Because we know that those responsible for terror is imperialism, is Zionism, is the forces of reaction. And it is these resistance forces who defend not only the land of Palestine, who defend not only the land of Lebanon, of Yemen, of Syria, of the entire region. It is these resistance forces that defend all of humanity today, who are on the front lines fighting for justice. So we stand today with the resistance of the Palestinian people. We stand today with the Palestinian prisoners. We stand with the resistance from Venezuela and Cuba to Lebanon and Syria to Yemen and Iran. We stand with everywhere around the world that people fight back against imperialism, that people say that it is still possible to win, because this Palestinian flag that we see flying above the crowd today, this Palestinian flag is the international symbol of resistance. This Palestinian flag, everywhere there's a worker fighting against austerity, everywhere there's people working to bring down fascists, the Palestinian flag is there flying high, because what the Palestinian flag, the Palestinian resistance in Al-Quds and all of Palestine shows us today is that no matter how powerful imperialism may seem, no matter how many weapons they have, it is still possible to resist. It is still possible to fight back. And more than that, it is still possible to win. It is still possible to achieve victory. Yassan Kanafani said, the Palestinian cause is not a cause for Palestinians only. It is the cause of every revolutionary. It is the cause of the oppressed and exploited masses in our era. And so today, in Al-Quds Day, as we stand with the oppressed and exploited masses, as we take up the banner of revolution, we stand with Walid Daqqa, we stand with Ahmed Sadat, we stand with Marwan Barghouti, we stand with Nail Barghouti, we stand with Isra Jabis, we stand with George Abdullah, we stand with Khadr Adnan and every Palestinian prisoner and the Palestinian resistance, the Lebanese resistance, and all of the resistance forces who hold the future for humanity in their hands, in their arms, in their strength, in their struggle until liberation and return. Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Long live Palestine!
Long live Palestine!
From the river to the sea!
From the river to the sea!
Palestine will be free!
Palestine will be free!
Thanks a lot.